If you think you're growing old, there is a way of knowing. Try sitting in a rocking chair and you can't get it going. The names you can't remember. More things you seem to lose. You seem to have more slippers when you used to have more shoes. The simple task you used to do to while away the hours, forgetting that there is no need to water plastic flowers. I've watered them. The teeth are yours but in a glass, a nut you cannot chew. They seem to see the funny side as they smile back at you. The wrinkles start to congregate. The joints are feeling weak. That part around your waistline makes your feet play hide and seek. But there's a God in heaven where streets are paved with gold, clothing you in robes of white, new bodies for your old. St. Withits, it's a fictitious church which God landed on my mind. And it goes something like this: Harvest Festival. St. Withits' Harvest Festival attracted quite a crowd. The ladies of the fellowship had reason to be proud. They decorated all the church with flowers, fruit and veg, balancing their produce on every window ledge. Now at the morning service, with his sister, dad and mum, was little Willie Watts his name, who wished he hadn't come. Squashed between his mother and the tall end of a pew, against the wall right at the back, he had a rotten view. But on the wall beside the pew, a bunch of grapes were hung that really looked inviting to a lad that was so young. As the service started, and they all stood up to sing, little Willie Watts named it such a silly thing. He tried to touch the lowest grape. That's all that he had planned. And he was quite astonished when it came off in his hand. Little Willie Watts, his name, was such a lucky lad. His mother hadn't noticed. She was talking to his dad. When little Willie Watts, his name, found out what he had done, and found he couldn't stick it back, and couldn't turn or run, he simply popped it in his mouth. What else was there to do? Then when he thought the coast was clear, he popped in number 2. Now when the service ended, and they all went home to lunch, little Willie Watts' name had finished off the bunch. Although he did it on the sly, he owned up like a man. When later on that afternoon, he went to see his Nan. He told her all about the church and heard the choir sing. He told her all about the grapes. He told her everything. I know you've told me lots and lots. The words fell from her lips. But what you haven't told me, dear, is where you put the pips. Little Willie Watts' name looked Granny in the eye, and just before he answered her, he gave a great big sigh. I didn't use my pocket, Gran, or drop them on the ground, 'cause just when I had finished, the collection plate came round. A lonely tin. 'Twas at the Harvest Festival, when all was gathered in, I saw among the fruit and veg a small and lowly tin. Baked beans was on its label, a tin God won't provide. God grows them all on bushes. He won't grow them inside. God provides the season for everything to grow. Every veg is different. with every seed we sow. Runner beans that climb the cane, the cabbage short and round, the parsnip and the carrot grows well beneath the ground. God provides the miracle on veg we gather in, but God will not provide them already in the tin. Satan's lair. Hell has to be enormous. The devil's lair of sin. It has to be enormous, as they are still going in their millions. If only people knew. It's up to us as Christians to try and save the few. There's those who never listen on Satan's path. They fell. They always find there was a way, yet far too late in hell. There's always room in heaven for all who wish to come. Although there will be millions, there's always room for one. It's called a final break. When your days on earth are over, you've earned a welcome break. With 2 hotels to choose from, the choice is yours to make. Your bags are packed and ready. You're off to your hotel. There's one with stars called heaven. The others simply hell. I can't believe so many choose the hell hotel they yearn. The heat is on, the flames are high. They don't go brown, they burn. They find the towels badly scorched, no water there to find. It's far too late to change hotels, too late to change their mind. For those who looked to Jesus and made their choice with care, their destination, heaven, and faith has paid their fare. Make sure that you choose heaven. Don't leave your choice too late, as the hell hotel is waiting, and Jesus knows their fate. Adam and Eve were in trouble, their future rather bleak. They surely were the first to play the game of hide and seek. They simply ate forbidden fruit. The day that Satan came, they hid and clothed their nakedness to hide their guilt and shame. God called them in the garden. He knew the pair were running. If they were playing hide and seek, God was ready and coming. The pair gave their excuses to whom the blame would land on. Adam blamed Eve, Eve blamed the snake, and the snake had no leg to stand on. But God so loved this sinful world, he saw creation's plight. So we could start with God afresh, sent Christ to put it right. I like this one. There are so many different faiths. For me, there's only one. My faith is in a risen Lord, God's one and only Son. Mohammed was a prophet, but it came as no surprise. Along with all his followers, he died and failed to rise. Buddha is another. His followers have found. His funeral was a big one, and he's still beneath the ground. Hindu has so many gods. When all is said and done, has any of them sprung to life? Well, up to now, there's none. But when it came to Jesus, who died so he could save, he is the only one to rise, triumphant from the grave.